Hello, Shadow Seekers, and welcome to another eerie episode of The Shadow Frequency. I'm Juniper, your producer, and tonight our host, Matt Wilson, is taking us deep into the haunted history of Europe's vampire graves. From staked skeletons to brick-stuffed skulls, these chilling discoveries will make you wonder what the dead are really up to. So light a candle, lock your doors, and join us as we tune in to the shadows.
Welcome back, Shadow Seekers, to the Shadow Frequency. I'm your host, Matt Wilson, and tonight we're diving into the chilling, blood-soaked mysteries of Europe's vampire graves. These aren't your sparkly, romantic vampires from the movies. No, these are the real deal. Corpses so feared by the living that they were staked, beheaded, or buried with stones in their mouths to keep them from rising. Grab your garlic and your wooden stakes because we're about to unearth some dark history. Let's get started. Picture this. It's the 17th century. Somewhere in rural Poland, a village is gripped by panic. People are dying, wasting away, pale, with strange marks on their necks. The culprit? A vampire, they say. But not some caped figure lurking in a castle. This is one of their own. A neighbor who died and, according to whispers, didn't stay dead. The villagers dug up the grave, and what they find sends shivers down their spines. A body that hasn't decayed, cheeks still flushed, blood pooling in the coffin. To them, this is proof. This is a vampire. Now, this wasn't a one-off event. Across Europe, from Poland to Bulgaria, Romania to Italy, archaeologists have uncovered what we now call vampire graves. These are burials with a twist. Bodies pinned down with iron stakes, decapitated heads placed between the legs, or mouths stuffed with bricks. Why? Because the people of the time believed the dead could come back to prey on the living. And honestly, when you look at the evidence, it's hard to blame them for being spooked. Let's start with one of the most famous cases, the vampire graves of Drosko, Poland. In 2014, archaeologists unearthed a cemetery dating back to the 17th and 18th centuries. Among the skeletons, they found 5 bodies buried in a way that screamed vampire prevention. One woman had a sickle placed across her throat, ready to slice her head off if she tried to rise. Another had a stone wedged in his mouth, presumably to stop him from biting. These weren't random acts of cruelty, they were calculated. The villagers believed these people were at risk of turning, or already had. But what made someone a vampire suspect? It wasn't just about mysterious deaths. Sometimes it was how you lived or died. People born with extra teeth, those who died suddenly, or even outsiders who didn't fit in could end up on the vampire chopping block. In Bulgaria, they found over 100 skeletons with iron rods driven through their chests. One guy nicknamed Vlad the Impaler's cousin by researchers. Not really, but I'm calling him that, had a stake right through his heart. The locals weren't taking any chances. Now let's hop over to Venice, Italy, 2006. Archaeologists digging in a plague cemetery found something wild. A woman's skeleton with a brick jammed in her mouth. They dated it to the 16th century, right in the middle of a plague outbreak. The theory? She was a Noxaver, a type of vampire believed to chew on its shroud and spread disease from the grave. Imagine that, blaming a corpse for a pandemic. But in a world without germ theory, this made sense to them. So were these people really vampires? Or was something else going on? We'll dig deeper after the quick break. Stay tuned, Shadow Seekers.
Hey, Shadow Seekers, it's Juniper, your producer here at the Shadow Frequency. How creepy are these vampire graves so far? I mean, stakes, bricks, sickles. This is some next-level paranoia. What do you think? Were these villagers onto something, or just scared out of their wits? Stick around because Matt's about to unravel whether there's science behind the superstition, plus a chilling tale from Romania you won't want to miss. If you're loving this, hit that like and subscribe button. Follow us on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. Apple, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Podbean, and all your favorite podcast directories. Oh, and big news, we've just launched a Patreon, and you can find it at patreon.com/shadowfrequency. It's brand new, and we'd love your support to keep the shadows coming. Right now, back to Matt.
Welcome back to the Shadow Frequency. Before the break, we were talking about Europe's vampire graves, bodies staked, beheaded, and bricked to stop them from rising. But here's the big question. Were these people actually undead bloodsuckers, or was something else at play? Let's look at the science. Take decomposition, or the lack of it. In the old days, if a body didn't rot as expected, it was a red flag. But here's the thing. Cold climates, like in Poland or Bulgaria, can slow decay. So can soil conditions or a tight coffin. That rosy-cheeked corpse the villagers feared? Probably just natural gases bloating the body, pushing blood to the surface. Not a vampire, just chemistry. Then there's disease, plague, tuberculosis, rabies. All these could mimic vampire symptoms. Tuberculosis, for instance, leaves you pale, weak, coughing up blood. Rabies, bite-like marks, aggression, sensitivity to light. Sound familiar? In a village with no medical knowledge, it's easy to see how they'd point fingers at the dead instead of germs. But not every case fits neatly into science. Let's head to Romania, home of Dracula lore, for a story that'll make your skin crawl. In 2004, a farmer named Petre Toma died in a small village. 6 weeks later, his niece started having nightmares. Petre, pale and grinning, draining her blood. Then others got sick, convinced he was a strigoi, a Romanian vampire. The family dug him up. His body? Still fresh, they claimed, with blood at his mouth. They cut out his heart, burned it, and mixed the ashes with water for the sick to drink. And get this, they say it worked. The illness stopped. Coincidence? Maybe, but try telling that to the villagers. Archaeology backs this up too. In an area of Ireland, they found 13th century skeletons with rocks in their mouth. Not quite Transylvania, but the fear was the same. And in Bulgaria, a 700-year-old skeleton dubbed the Sozopol vampire had an iron plowshare through its chest. These rituals span centuries and countries, all born from the same primal terror. The dead aren't done with us. So what's the truth? Were these vampire graves just misunderstood burials? Or is there something darker we can't explain? I'll let you decide, Shadow Seekers. One thing's for sure, next time you're walking past an old cemetery, you might want to keep an eye on the ground, just in case. That's all for tonight. I'm Matt Wilson, and this has been The Shadow Frequency. Sleep tight, if you can.
And that's a wrap on this spine-tingling journey through Europe's vampire graves. I'm Juniper, producer for The Shadow Frequency, thanking you for tuning in with Matt Wilson tonight. If these tales left you questioning the line between life and death, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us wherever you get your paranormal fix. Until next time, Shadow Seekers, keep listening for the frequencies that lurk in the dark.